Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jackson Tortone, and with me tonight is Dr. Sam Richards, who teaches Sociology 119. Dr. Richards, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yes. So I'd like to start the night. I just want to hear a little about your educational background and kind of how you ended up here at Penn State.
Well, I have all three of my degrees in sociology. I went to University of Toledo for my bachelor's and my master's, but then I went to Rutgers University for my PhD. And there I met a woman who would later become my wife, but while we were still dating, she came to Penn State to work on her PhD while I traveled to Latin America and lived in Ecuador doing my research. So when I came back to the States, I needed somewhere to go and I wanted to be with her, and so I ended up here just by chance. And I never left. That was 1990.
Long time, yes.
Yeah.
So going off of that, what first attracted you to the subject of sociology?
Well, is often the case, I think it was a single professor or a single class. I was in a different major at the time, but I took this class in social psychology, and it just really opened my eyes to the ways in which our behavior is not necessarily within our control. And so social psychology really studies the hidden forces that shape what we do and how we think. And I was so fascinated by that. And I think going back to when I was a child, I was lucky enough to have a mother who was interested in other cultures. And so I just felt a certain commonality with people around the world, and I was intrigued by people all over the world. So I think that part, it's built into me.
Yeah. So going off of the, being interested in other cultures, how did Sociology 119 become your signature course here at Penn State?
Well, when I taught it in my second year here, I was just a part-time instructor and didn't think I would ever stay at Penn State. My second year, they didn't have any other class for me to teach. And they said, listen, if you don't teach Social 19, we don't know what else we have for you. And so I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. And from the very first week of the semester, I just loved it. I loved the topic. I loved really engaging with people from different cultures and different perspectives. And then I just never left. Nobody wanted to teach it, and so I just stayed in that particular classroom.
And so as a current student of class, I know that's a big production. There's a live stream, all things like that, and a bunch of TAs. So what is the most challenging aspect of administrating your course?
Well, the most challenging aspects of the course are live streaming it and making the videos. I mean, if we weren't doing that, if I was just going in the classroom and reading off PowerPoint slides, it would be very simple. But, we live stream, we have all these cameras, we have camera operators, we're editing, and then because we get people watching from around the world, we've reached almost 500 million views around the world of our videos. It means that I have to change the class up. So every semester I have to put together 30 different productions, so to speak. So it's like an episode in a television series. So that's actually pretty challenging. I'm starting to wonder for how much longer I can come up with new ideas.
Well, going off all that hard work, so what is the most fulfilling aspect of doing all this hard work, making these new lessons, these new episodes, as you say? What is it? What makes it worth it to you?
Meeting people. First off, discovering new ideas. The fact that we live stream means I have to be on my game all the time. When I say something wrong or say something that's just off base, I hear about it. Someone writes to me, and so I can't say dumb things, or I can't say wrong things, and I can't be too partisan one way or the other. I have to be fair, and I have to treat students with a great deal of fairness, and I have to treat the issues with a lot of intellectual integrity, because while there are students in the classroom, there are people who are, PhDs and CEOs and all sorts of things who watch the videos. And so I have to be on my game all the time.
Yeah, and the title of the course is Race, Ethnicity, and Culture. So why do you feel that it's important for everyone, but especially college students, to discuss issues like that?
Well, we are citizens of the world, right? We live in a globalized world now, and whether you like it or not, you're going to have to encounter people from all over, from countries, and with perspectives and cultures and backgrounds that are very different from each one of you, students in the class. And so for me, I think what I do is I offer people the opportunity to engage with not just one another, but with other folks. And people have different ethnicities and different cultures, and in the classroom, so about a third of the students in that room are from outside the United States. And so you really get to hear from a lot of different perspectives. And I think that's pretty exciting. That feels valuable and important.
And so on a more personal level, how is, you said you've been teaching this course since the 90s, so how has it affected you, like, on a more personal level, not just, being able to meet people, but just like your personal growth and your understanding of race, ethnicity, and culture?
Yeah, well, for one, I think I've become a much better thinker in that particular classroom because I have to be. Again, that's a benefit of live streaming. I have to be on my game and I have to be very thoughtful. Two, because I'm not reading off PowerPoints, because I'm bringing students up to the front and asking them questions. I have to really develop my question skills. So I'm much better now at asking questions than I am at answering them, and I like that. It just makes it's more fun. It's more interesting for me, and I think that I get to experience the whole world in that particular classroom. Yeah. So that feels like. That just has great value. You can't beat that. I'm stuck here in central Pennsylvania, but I get to leave the county twice a week.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, and so going off more on the personal relationships, could you describe your relationships, with your TAs and the other people who work your live stream and the other aspects of your courses?
Yeah, well, over the years, the past 30 plus years, I've had over 1,000 TAs who work closely with me. And that means that's a lot of deep relationships. I've been in like the weddings of my former students. I go back a long way, and so I get close with them, and they get close with me, and then I really, because I treat TAs as equals, and they see me as an equal, and we're really collaborating. I can't do what I do without them, and each role that they play is very important. It's like here in the studio, every single person plays an important role, and I recognize that. I'm just one of a larger team, and so it's really nice to stay engaged with people in that way. And my TAs come from all over the world, and so I get to know them, I get to know their parents, and it's just it's really fascinating. It's good.
So we're running a little short on time, but I want one more question out of you. So, what would you say to any prospective student here at Penn State who's planning or is considering taking your course?
Listen, the ideal course is one in which you get to learn at your own pace and you get to think on your own terms. And so in my class, you don't take notes. You just get to sit back and you get to watch and listen and observe and think. And that's what a university is all about. And we touch upon the most challenging perspectives and issues that are out in the world today. This is college, right? Take everything that's most challenging. You sit back in a room and you get to think on your own terms about a wide range of perspectives related to those issues, and you get to listen to your classmates. What a better way to learn than that? So that's what I would tell anybody. If you want a class like that, well, first off, watch some of the videos, and if it's a place you want to be, then join up.
All right, thank you so much for coming in here tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome.